Hi, everyone. It's Diane Evans with stampinwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So if this is one of your first times joining me, welcome. Whether you've joined me on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe just down below here. Or if you're joining me through Facebook and it's one of my groups, just make sure that you've given StreamYard permission. And then that way I know exactly who I'm talking to when you leave a comment. So welcome back. I know this is my part of my how did they do that technique. And it's my Technique Tuesday. So this is where actually what I do is I give different techniques that maybe you've seen, maybe you haven't seen, but it might just be because of the length of time that you've actually been stamping, because some of these techniques have been around for many, many years. But this one is more of an art technique. It's more of, but that's what we do is we take an awful lot of our techniques and we get them from art techniques and that sort of stuff. So this is called an ink blowing technique. It could be a paint blowing technique, that sort of stuff, but it's another great background to use. Now, honestly, hello, Lorraine. Honestly, I had such a mess going for me here. My hands, you know what? Thank heavens for Mo that gave me one of those pumice stone soaps, because honestly, I would have been completely covered in colors. But that's okay. So this is something that we're going to be using with our reinkers. We're going to be using, I'll show you some different color combinations with this. But what I picked out here, and I don't yeah, I do. I don't want this one. I'm going to go and I can show you a bunch of different ones. I've tried all different ones. And, you know, it's quite funny because I found that what happens with these is they lighten up as you work with them. So I'm going to show you how to do it. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a card using totally different colors. Okay, so it's an ink blowing. You're going to, what the biggest thing that you need are reinkers. Ones that color, that coordinate. You can go 3, 4 colors, and shimmery white paper. Now this also, see, look, I've got stuff on there. I'm going to have to move the other side. But this is shimmery white paper. It is a thicker one, and it's really good when you start to use liquids with it, apparently. Not apparently, but it does. Glossy paper or photo paper could be used with it. And I think vellum could be too, but that might be a little tricky getting it dry. Hello, Pam and Margaret. Good morning in Australia. And Christine, another Australian. Hello, Diana. And hello, Nellie. Awesome. I'm so glad that you've joined me. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Share my video. I really do appreciate it. So I am also going to use this Queen Bee bundle. This one is actually for my Your Creativity Awaits at the end of next month. So this is kind of a fun one to play with. And honestly, I went to go use it before I went away. And then when I used it, I lost one of my dies. Does that ever happen to anybody? Probably not, right? Just me. In any event, I lost one of the dies, and then I was panicked because I knew we were using it. But I did find it, so that's all good. All right. So this technique is very, very simple. You are also going to need a straw. Now, you could use a paper straw because that's mainly what's out there now. You could use even one of those straws, a stainless steel straw. That one might get a little bit too much moisture in it. I happen to have one straw that I've got just in my craft room. I got actually a couple of them in my craft room. So that's what I'm using there. So like I say, shimmery white paper. Now, I am taking probably my 2 favorite color combinations. Hello, Janet. And that is Bermuda Bay and Gorgeous Grape. I just love these 2 colors together. Now, this, when I first do this, you're going to go, oh, I don't know if I really like that. It does dry a different color. So it's really interesting when it does dry. I'm going to do this off to the side because I don't want to have my head in there. So all you're going to do is take one color. You're going to do a drop. You wait to see how easy this really is. You're going to take your straw. And then you're just going to blow. That's it. How simple is that, right? And so we're going to go in. I've got lipstick on my straw. I'm going to go in with my gorgeous grape. Now, depending on which way that you actually blow it, you can blow it from the side, you can blow it up and down. I like it blown from up and down. So now, isn't that pretty? It's just amazing. Oh, great. Glenda, I'm glad you have caught me live as well. And Maryland and Alabama and another person from Australia. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so then I am using Granny Apple Green. I really think that this goes really, really well with the Bermuda Bay and the Gorgeous Grape. So let me just go and let's do that again. And then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to use some more of the Bermuda Bay. And yes, I probably should have had something on my surface here, but I didn't, but that's okay. We'll do some more Granny Apple Green. And then picture this as a background, right? Let's put some more grape on there. And then we could even go in with this one. This one would look really nice with Daffodil Delight on there too as well. Oops. Really didn't want to do that way. You know what? We're going to need some more grape over there. Let's just do one right here. And I want to get right on top of it. I find that that's the best way to blow it. To get these spiky sort of looks. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to try this with Daffodil Delight. Here's one here that I've done. This is Highland Heather. This is Parakeet Party. This is, and this does look fairly dark right now, but trust me, it will dry. This is Coastal Cabana. And then we've got, this is Soft Sea Foam. It didn't work that well with that. And then I've got a Pear Pizzazz on there as well. So let's just put some yellow in with this. Yellow and Bermuda Bay looks so nice together. That. And like I say, this is derives from an art technique. It's like that bokeh technique that we did. That was also an art technique as well. This one's got a bubble in it, so it should be interesting. And you know what? I think we could put a little bit more yellow over here as well. And like I say, you could keep playing with this. I think the more white space that you have, the better. I think, look at how that, the white space is really nice with this particular technique. And there you go. That is the ink blowing technique. So really, how easy is that? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a background for using something with that Queen Bee. So I've got my ink here, and I'm hoping I don't get any of this color onto my papers. So what I've got here is I've got some crushed curry. I've got it 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I really don't want to put this down until I know that this is completely dry, but let's go ahead and score this. Happy New Year to you too. Oh my goodness. And hello, Kay. Oh, you look forward to this tutorial? That's nice. That's really nice. Thank you. The water, I did try the water. It really was a science project around here. Yes, I could have used water with it. However, it doesn't spread and give the same technique. And I'll tell you another one that I did was I tried rubbing alcohol with it too. And I didn't quite like the way that it completely turned out. Okay, so I have this piece of the shimmery white, and it's 3 1/4 by 4.5. Now I am going to use, I'm not going to use crushed curry. Even though I'm using crushed curry cardstock, I'm using Daffodil Delight. And honestly, you want to do it color by color. So I'm going to do 3 of those. Let's do another one. You know what? I'm going to use my other color. Now, with that being said, you can also use your Memento black. And of course, I want the yellow and the black for the bee, right? So I just have my Memento as well. Let's turn this around. Now, I'll give you a bit of a hint. I know that you were talking about water. In this straw, you get moisture from your breath. That's kind of giving it moisture in itself. So I'm just going to put another one right here. You say, I have white on, which is a silly color to do when I'm doing something like this. See, I've got that on there. I'm going to want that out of the way. Let's go ahead and put some more yellow on there. You know, black's going to go there. A little tiny bit here, just a little dab. Well, that wasn't a little dab. Let's go ahead and put some black right here. And like I say, I'm doing the effect. And it was so funny how that came about. And I'll show you how this idea of the yellow and the black came about. Oh, I like that. Oh, my goodness. You know what? I'm going to put a bit of black over here, too. I love any of these art sort of things. And maybe a bit more yellow. Just a tiny bit here. And maybe some more black there. And now I'm going to go ahead. Look at my hands are just covered. And that was the one I was having issues with, was the black. But that's okay. We'll get this. I'll use that really neat pumice thing. It's a really neat soap. Let's turn this around and get it going this way. There we go. And I think that's enough at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and put the colors on there. Now, I could turn around, and I'm thinking rubbing alcohol might even, oh, I don't know if rubbing alcohol. Let's see if it's going to take off some of this color off my hands. No, not really. It's just going to make it so that maybe it doesn't go into all of my colors. Okay. So inky fingers, right? So I have that, like I said, it is 3.5 by 4. No, 3.5 by 4.5. I have my crushed curry. And you know, honestly, I think what I should do is I should put this out of here, and let's take this off.
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, and now what I've got is I've got my Siri is answering. Isn't that funny, eh? Okay, just let me quickly plug in my phone too. Because if I don't do that, we're probably going to lose my camera altogether. Oh dear. Whoops. Oh. Okay, we're going to bring this over here, and I'm going to plug in my phone. There we go. And now I've got everything falling all over the place. Oh, goodness. Okay. All you can do is laugh, right? So I'm just getting rid of that. And then let's come back in with this. and we can start putting this card together. Now I also have a piece of black, which happens to be 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I'm thinking to myself that what I can do is I could have used an embossing folder, but I'm not going to on this particular card. Now that's got black on it there. I'm going to do it this way. That ink transfer from my fingers is not good. There we go. And then this piece here is just going to go on there. I'm not a big yellow person, but I do like this particular yellow. I tried to crush curry on here, and I didn't like how it worked. The crushed curry was, and I'll show you a picture of the crushed curry. So I think the Daffodil Delight works better. There we go. All right, so this is where that, like I say, the black part came in. Now, I also, from that stamp set, it has these really neat words on it. So I'm going to come in with my Memento, and I've inked it up really good. And I'm thinking, there we go. I'm just going to go ahead and just put some of that on here. And you know, I do not want that to come onto there. There we go. So I probably should have inked that up ahead of time. All right. So what do you think so far? What do you think? We've never even thought of doing that. Like I say, my son is an artist, so it's amazing what he can do. Norwax. Well, like I say, this soap that I got, you wait. It's amazing soap. Okay, so I happen to have some vellum because I thought, you know what? I'm thinking that maybe what I might want to do is I might want to see this bee done in that. So it was funny because vellum does tend to, it keeps the ink quite a long time. So I inked it with Memento and just, whoops, looks like my camera is going to fall here. Just let me just double do that. I'm thinking I'm having issues with my charging cord. There we go. That should do it. Okay, so I just inked this up with Memento and I stamped it on vellum. Just like that. And you notice I didn't even use my embossing buddy. And this keeps quite wet at one point. So what I'm going to do is I'm coming in with my black embossing powder. And I'm just going to use some of that on here. And let's move that out of the way that things are going right now. And then we're just going to heat set that. And it's amazing what happens with vellum when you heat set it. Now, you got to be careful when you're heat setting with vellum, because what you want it to do is you do not want it to warp. So you're just going to heat it, but you also heat from the bottom part as well. So see how we're getting it. And it's going to give a different look to this bee. Okay, just like that. So I turned around and I've already cut that out because there's a die for it. So we just have that like that. And I'm going to put that onto here. It's going to go on here. And then I also want to go in and I want to put the sentiment on there. Now, I thought my best bet would be to use black with white. So let me go in, and I am going to need to use the embossing buddy on the black. And then I went in with my fragrant flowers. I really like this big Thanks So I'm going to use that. And that stamp was here. There we go. And I'm going to use Versamark with it. I'm just reading the comments. It's really different. Okay, so then I'm going to come in here. And then let's just put this on here. I got my white embossing powder. And boy, if I don't put these lids on with how I'm stamping today, we really have issues, right? Now, don't forget, tomorrow this will be posted as a PDF on my Facebook group, which is just down below, and it's the Stamping with Diane Stampers group. And it will be there. Okay, so there's our white. And then I'm going to get you to tell me what you think about one particular thing. So it's too bad that we don't have like colored embossing powder. Mind you, I don't think it would show up on black anyways. So let me just come with this and we'll just heat set this. So different, right? And at this point, what I could do is the bee could go up there so it does show off. This queen bee stamp set is really, really growing on me. It's yeah, it's growing on me. I haven't played that much with it, but like I say, it's one that we're using in the Your Creativity Awaits for February. Okay, so I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to cut this. Whoops, that's not very good. If I had cut this down to size before I stamped it, I probably would have gotten it crooked. So it works better for me to cut it after I have stamped it. I don't know if that's how you do things, but that's how I do this. That's how I scrapbook. Anyways. All right. So then the thanks can go on here as well. So do you want to see it like that? Or let me show you something else that I did. Well, maybe I won't be showing you that. Here we go. I turned around and then I colored this in yellow. So what do you think? In white or in yellow? Yes, it does look better on the yellow. So white or yellow. And all I did was I took this and I took a Stampin' Blend and just colored over top of the white. You know, and it's something that I could turn around and change anyways. So I'm going to apply this bee. I want the leaves to be up. So I'm just going to come in a bit. I'm getting white, 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 yellow. Yellow looks great. Yellow. One, yellow. Well, we got it almost even. It looks like yellow is going to win. I could probably post 2 cards like that and do where I could do them in both colors. Okay, it looks like yellow's winning over. So let's go ahead and now put the yellow on. So the bee is just going to go on with glue dots, just like so. We're going to put this on with black dimensionals. Whoa! Oh my goodness, see? Okay, just going to leave that like that. Let's go with black dimensionals. I'm really having problems. Okay, so we'll just put this on. Okay, it looks like yellow won out. So, and I'm going to just put one more in the middle because we don't want it dipping. Just like so. Let's put that off to the side there. And then, of course, we have to do embellishments. So these matte black dots will work perfectly with this. So I've got a few blotches that I've got to cover up. So using those opportunities, I'm going to put one down there and one here as well. And then for the inside of the card, I didn't want to put too much. It's kind of busy on the front, and I love this little bee. So I'm actually going to just go and stamp this little bee on there, and it's going to be so subtle. Let me just go and you know what? I could have put those words on there too. Huh. Okay, so let's see how this is going to work. Just like so. And then the sentiment can go right in there. Okay. Thank you. You say, totally different than my style of card. So, like I say, tomorrow, oh, look at that. Well, let's just take that off. You know what that's going to look like? I'm going to go in and just put a piece of white. So let me grab another piece of white. I have all these bases or inside parts cut. So, all right. So I'm just going to actually just put that in there because it is so different, isn't it? It's not my typical card, that's for sure. And we're going to make sure that I don't get any black on there. And then I can go in and stamp that afterwards. So there's my card. Like I say, I hope you like it. That used the queen bee, and it is also using and doing the ink blowing technique. So like I say, this is like an art technique. So you're not only getting stamping techniques, you're also getting art techniques here as well. Now, this card was actually inspired by somebody. Her name is, oh God, it's Pam. I will put a link to her and that she's done. She did a video on this as well. And honestly, this is totally different than what she did. But I definitely, I was inspired to do this particular technique because of that. Well, thank you. Don't you hate it when that I hate it when I get any of this, but that I should have known that Memento ink was going to do that because it was doing that earlier on there. All right. So what's happening tomorrow? Thank you. So what's happening tomorrow is mystery. So at 12 o'clock, the clues will post at 12 o'clock on my face through the Facebook group. Join in, and then that way you could be entered in to possibly win a tutorial or win some product. And then basically, then we go back on to Thursday, and I'm back into my regular swing. In any event, you guys, give me the thumbs up if you like that. Make sure that you share my video. I really do appreciate that. That's one of the best forms of compliment that you can give me. And if you have any questions, by all means, reach out. If you've got any ideas for any type of a tutorial or a technique that you'd like to see me do, I really do appreciate that. I did that with the packing tape technique. I'm still looking for my glitter, so that'll be coming, the packing tape with the glitter as well, but in the near future. All right, you guys, have a great evening, and we will see you soon. Bye for now.